Did you know that on the 1st of January 1511, Katherine of Aragon gave birth to a son? He was the second child to be born to King Henry VIII and his wife Katherine of Aragon. The first had been a daughter, a stillborn child, who was delivered 33 weeks after the marriage. She was never given a name. And so now, a year later, Katherine had given birth to a boy. Henry was absolutely delighted. The country erupted in celebration. The little boy was born at Richmond Palace and he was given the name Henry. So he would have been the future Henry IX had he survived. The celebrations were great indeed. Bonfires were lit throughout the country, church bells rang out and public fountains ran with wine. The New Year's boy, as he was called, was baptised in a grand ceremony. The title the Duke of Cornwall was bestowed upon him, and his godparents were illustrious indeed. One of his godfathers was Louis XII of France, who sent a gift of a salt cellar and a cup containing almost 100 ounces of gold. And Margaret of Austria was one of his godmothers. Later, a huge, grand tournament was organised in honour of the new prince. It was by far the most lavish that had been seen in England in living memory, and some scholars believe that it was almost as expensive as Catherine and Henry's coronation. This tournament was known as the Westminster Tournament, and Henry jousted as Sir Loyalheart. And if you've seen my earlier video, it is thought that maybe this jewel, which was recently found in an English field by a metal detectorist, this might have been commissioned as a gift to the winner of the tournament. On it, it's got the engraved initials of Catherine and Henry, and on the reverse, it's got a Tudor rose and a pomegranate, which was Catherine of Aragon's badge. Around this time, Henry almost immediately started setting up his son's separate household. He appointed dozens of servants, which included 40 men-at-arms for his protection. He also hired food tasters to ensure that the prince's wet nurse was not poisoned. The little prince's wet nurse was called Elizabeth Points, and she was supervised by a lady mistress. He also had 4 rockers, that is 4 people to rock his cradle. But absolutely tragically, the little prince died only 52 days after being born. He died on the 22nd of February of unknown causes. Prince Henry's parents were of course absolutely devastated, as was the rest of the country. The prince's funeral was almost as lavish as the tournament that had celebrated his birth. The little prince's coffin was taken in a grand procession to Westminster Abbey, which is where he was laid to rest.